Hey, and welcome to the Go the Distance podcast series. My name is Sadie, and you can find my social media links at milehighradio.com/go-the-distance. Thank you to Lynn Burnett and Mile High Radio for making all of this possible. Please check out my previous episodes on shows.pippa.io/go-the-distance. In today's episode, I'll be introducing you to an upcoming musician. The band is called The Rough, and they have some upcoming events. They'll be playing on Friday, January 19th at the Tower Bar at 8 p.m. in San Diego. And they'll be playing with The Dodges, The Guts, and Plane Without a Pilot. They also have a show coming up Saturday, February 10th at the Go Lounge, and it's at 10 p.m. in San Diego. And then another one on February 24th at 710 Beach Club. It's at 7 p.m. in San Diego, and this one is the Pop Goes 90s Punk Show. You can get tickets for this show on the 710 Beach Club website and also on Facebook. You can find those at facebook.com/theroughsd. And the actual link is facebook.com/events/3342303896664/. You can also
There's
find
no sound. Oh.
You can also find The Rough on Instagram. Their handle is @theroughsd, and on Twitter it's the same. And so today we have with us Drew Smith. He is the lead guitar and singer of The Rough, and he works with Mike, who is his brother and plays bass and sings, and Darren Sater, who plays drums. You can find solo projects by Drew at iamdrewsmith.com and also on Facebook, facebook.com/DrewSmithSocks. His Instagram and Twitter are at iamdrewsmith. So everyone, welcome Drew to the show. Hey Drew, what's up?
What's up, everybody? I'm Drew. That's Sadie.
What up?
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Outstanding. Feeling super amazing right now. Glad to be here with you.
Glad to have you on the show. So you just had a track come out called Not You, and it's a single from your album The Rough EP, which came out June 1st, correct?
Yes.
And this album's available on Reverb Nation, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, and Google Play.
Google Play everywhere.
You can also check out a flyer on Facebook on the link I shared earlier.
Mm-hmm.
You're working on another solo album right now. You have the title of your record is You Against Me Against the World, and your release date is to be announced.
Yep. Still in production.
Awesome. And you dropped a track yesterday called Trust Me, and it's available on Reverb Nation and SoundCloud. Again, the Reverb Nation link is theroughsd.com.
For the solo stuff, it's I Am Drew Smith.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
No, yeah. But the track Not You is available with on the Rough SD on Reverb Nation.
That's what I meant.
You got it.
Cool. All right, so you got some pretty exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, it's so it's a really interesting story how the band came together. I've been doing the solo thing for a while.
Okay.
And then one show I played at, I believe it was the Till 2 Club in San Diego. Okay. And our drummer Darren was there. He was like, it was, kind of a small crowd. He was the only one there just listening to the show and stuff. And he came up and we talked. And you hear those conversations all the time if you're doing, playing shows and stuff. Everybody plays music, which is awesome. Everybody, let's get together and jam. But, sometimes you don't meet up with them. And so I figured, it was like, oh, okay, nice meeting you. We had a beer, talked about it. And then a couple of weeks later, I got a video of him playing drums to the song, one of the songs he liked that I played that night that was on the site. So it's like, yeah, I got a studio we can go to, So we went there. That was in November last year or 2016. And then February 2017, my brother joined, and Mike and I played in another band called Save Amos. We had that album, a full length, come out in 2010 on RW Recordings. And
what was the name of the band? It kind of cut out there.
Oh, Save Amos.
Okay.
Yeah, and then so we did that for a few years, and went off and did our own things, and now me and Mike are back again with the Rough with Darren.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Exciting
rocking it up.
stuff.
San Diego punk.
Rock on.
Yeah.
So what are some things that you've had to work really hard at to kind of get where you are today?
Wow, there's a lot that goes into it, especially, so I guess the normal thing, you go to school, you go to college, you get a job, have a family, you wake up, you go to work, you come home, eat dinner, go to sleep, and you wake up and you go to work and you come home and you eat dinner and you go to sleep. And that doesn't sound extremely awesome to me. So I got into music at a very young age, and I was playing, violin and clarinet, and into trombone and drums and stuff like that, playing all through my life. And there was just something that caught with me, like, oh man, I can't not do this. You can't keep a racehorse in the garage or in the bathtub. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, man, I'm a racehorse. I'm a shark. So just started playing drums first. I would beat on my mom's pots and pans with wooden spoons. And she just let me do it. She was very supportive of our creativity, and she was an artist too. She like sketched and stuff like that. So yeah, and she always played music all the time. She would wake us up with music.
That's awesome.
For school, for church, whatever, when we were kids. So,
It's in your blood.
Yeah, too much blood in the music stream. So yeah, just now when I write too, actually, I can feel a lot of those things that I was listening to before kind of influence what I'm doing now, especially like with harmonies, because I love harmonies.
Okay.
So like in my solo stuff, the recordings, obviously it's just me when I'm on the stage with my guitar, but I do a lot of harmonies and stuff. And then with the Rough, I sing with Mike, and he's a great vocalist and he's a good harmonist, if that's a word. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I think that sounds right anyways.
Well, this is right today.
Yeah, it's a word now.
You're welcome, world. Hey, Webster. Just jam with Mike, and we have a really good connection and stuff like that. And then with Darren, playing with that guy is like playing with a third us, So it worked out pretty good doing that whole thing.
Right into the family, I guess, hey?
Yeah, exactly. I'm surprised the last name is not Smith.
Maybe it is and you don't know. Like through the family.
Yeah. That's crazy. We're all different colors. Sorry, I might have to cut this part out, but I kind of went on a tangent from the question, I think.
I don't think so.
Oh.
All good.
Oh yeah. So staying with it. Yeah, I got out of high school early, started touring. Just kept going from band to band and stuff, and it's a dysfunctional family you choose. So obviously there's problems, between people and stuff like that. I've been on tours where, the other dudes are fighting, in the green room behind the stage right before we actually hit the stage. They just have their guitars on ready to go.
Oh my gosh.
Arguing and stuff like that. I'm like sitting with my drumsticks, like, man, I just want to play,
Intense.
Yeah, so like the fire at the circus, intense. So, yeah, stuff like that. But, when the things would end or whatever, or we, make it work and everything was fine. But, if not, it would end. And I'd feel like that shark in a fishbowl, or a giraffe in a low ceilinged area.
Trap.
Yeah. Oh my God, my neck. So I just kept going with it, and that's. I've heard what I was telling you the last time we talked. Like I heard a quote that I really liked. The only constant is change. Mm-hmm. But like I also, for me, the only constant is music. You know, that's my therapy.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
yeah, when I get, I'm, you know, pretty easygoing guy, but sometimes, you know, things will get to me, but I just like bury it, find a hole and put it in there.
Yeah.
Um, you know, and people do that some more than others, you know what I mean? But we all have that about us. You
Yeah.
know, a lot of people, there's people that'll make them crumble. There's people that'll make them lash out, you know. It'll change them as a person, you know what I mean, depending on the situation. I've experienced different variations of all of those, but in the end, always is music.
Mm.
Oh, I can, and not even so much like listening to it for me, but playing it. You know, just having that creative. I don't know how to tell you what I'm thinking right now, but I could like, you know, you could hear it and maybe get it. You know, oh, and even relate to a point like, oh man, I feel like that too. I totally get it. And then we're all in the same page. You know, we're back to the way it should be
Yeah.
because of music.
Yeah, I think it's awesome to have something that you use as your outlet to sort of deal with the stress of life, because if you don't deal with it somehow, then you just bottle it up and eventually you explode like a volcano, right?
Yeah, and some people just explode, you know, on contact.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's, you know, however volatile you want to say one is, you know, than the other. There's it's pretty damaging, you know, on both ends. So um, I know like one cool thing too is, you know, playing the music and stuff. I was a drummer before I was a guitarist, you know, so I was playing drums for like 27 years,
Oh, wow.
different projects and stuff like that. And it would be awesome just to hear, you know, people tell the other guys in front, like, oh man, this, I've listened to this song and it made me feel I wanted to kill myself or something like this, you know. And I actually heard those things at shows, you know, like, oh man, and I'm helping because, you know, I'm keeping the beat, keeping it steady, you know, the dynamics and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Um, you can make drums sing, you can make a guitar sing, you can sing, you know, everything can touch somebody in a way that will make them feel like they're not the only one feeling whatever negative thing that they're feeling, you know. And that's what I love about music. You know, you can watch Forrest Gump when you're feeling, you know, angry or something like that, and that piano will calm you down. I guarantee it. You know what I mean? Even if you hear it in the store, like, oh man, I'm gonna kick this. Oh, I'm gonna sit over here real quick. You know what I
You
mean?
listen to this music here.
Yeah, for real. And then you walk out like, okay, I'm just gonna get a corn dog and a lemonade or something, you know. So,
Yeah, I think music definitely has a way of just like speaking to your soul almost.
yeah, and that's the thing. Like on the spiritual side of it, you know, um, the story of Lucifer and how he's made of musical instruments and all this other stuff, you know, and jewels and, you know, his light. He was everything beautiful, sight, sound, and, you know, smell, everything, right?
Mm.
And uh, he fell and turned into a deceiver. And who better to be a deceiver than something gorgeous, something wonderful, something beautiful, you know? And he's made of musical instruments.
That's so
You know?
cool.
Yeah, and it's crazy, like, you know, and when you know, I hear the radio, you know, or I'll hear be at a club or something like that, you know, and you hear these these songs like whatever, it's party time, you know, people are like, oh, I'm gonna do this to you, girl, and I do cocaine and all this stuff, right? But then like what are people coming out with? You know, it's kind of huge. And especially little kids, because there's a lot of parents that are our age that are you know, they have little kids and they like the music that's out right now, but the little kids are listening to it too. How are they going to grow up?
Yeah.
You know, but that's another thing that helps me too, is being able to know that I can help other people not have to take that in. You know what I mean? Like the projects I've been in, the people I've been able to jam with and stuff at shows, most of it is like all of it in one way or another, you know, it's positive stuff. Like we're trying to, like, you know, anthemy punk rock songs, like, let's do this, let's get on our own, let's, you know, DIY. Forget the system. I'm not going to follow you. I'm going to be my own person. God made me individual. I'm different,
That's
you know,
awesome.
and let's do that together. And we could all be a bunch of different people doing different things that are super awesome.
Just gotta all support each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's one thing about the music scene too, you know, it's on support. Um,
Yeah.
that is, it's another damaging thing, you know, like when people want to be the cool guy on the stage as opposed to like sharing a message or a vision or a feeling or a dream, you know.
Yeah.
That turns it into the Lucifer of it, you know. And it's beautiful, it sounds cool, it's musical instruments, but all I see is, you know, dude with the great clothes on and the cool hair, and he's getting drunk and, you know, doing weird stuff that'll make everybody, oh, that band's, you know, like this because of one guy. You know, why not just try to be positive the whole time?
Yeah.
You know,
Be a positive role model in like your life choices, not just in your music.
exactly, yeah. And that's, you know, if you're a baseball player, you have to be a professional on the field, and you have to be professional when you're not, because you have to be back on the field.
Yeah. And
Right.
people know
So
you.
exactly, yeah. And they know who you stand for.
Yeah.
You know, so you're not just in a band, you're not representing yourself. You know, you're representing a group of guys that are doing the same thing. When people see the Rough, they see three dudes. It's not Drew, it's not Mike, it's not Darren. You
Yeah.
know,
It's all three of you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now,
You
if
carry your
bands did
identity
that,
with you, right?
sorry.
You carry your identity with you.
Right, yeah. Everywhere you
You
go.
are who you are, and wherever you go, you present yourself as who you are, and that's how the
Hmm.
world sees you.
Yeah, like being a teacher. You know, like
Yeah.
you're held to a certain standard because you're leading the youth of our future into their,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, as a teacher, if I was out like making a fool of myself all around town every weekend, then that's not going to look very good when I see my, old students that I had, or my students' parents, or friends of my
Right.
students' parents, or anything like that.
Coworkers.
Yeah, coworkers. Yeah, you got to be conscious about how you're putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and you know, there's always the certainty that, you know, things will get misconstrued or misunderstood. No matter how hard you try, you can't please everyone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so. But then even with that is how do you handle yourself in that situation? Because, you know, cream and crap rise to the top. Which one are you going to be? You know.
Yeah. And there's always going to be people who have a negative view on you, even if you are doing something positive. People take things their own way and put
Mhm.
their own spin on it, their own interpretation, and you gotta stay true to you.
Yeah. Oh, trying to be high and mighty because, you know, you want to be better or different. Like better than what? Better than me?
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm saying we could be better together. Let's try that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if anyone watches Good Mythical Morning, but they like argue back and forth, and they're like, "No, I'm the best. No, I'm the best." And then together they're like, "No, we're the best."
see,
Just like that.
yeah, you gotta. Oh, and just like in that order.
Yeah.
Oh, see, that's perfect. Now, if everybody did that, we'd all be able to share our opinions and just finally agree.
Agree to disagree.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, people hate that when you say it sometimes too, though.
My mom used to say that to me. I'd get so mad. I'd be like, "No, I'm not agreeing to disagree. I totally disagree with you on this."
You're making me agree. I disagree. Exactly. Ah.
Infinite disagreement.
Yeah. In the loop.
Yeah. So another thing that we wanted to talk about was struggle. Can you share a little bit about your experiences and some of the struggles that you've gone through as a musician?
Mm. Well, there's that common phrase, you know, the starving musician.
Yeah, starving artist.
Starving artist, yeah. Oh, yeah, starving artist because music's an art, painting's an art. Um, you know, yeah, I've been in plenty of situations where, you know, like the thing that would bring it down, okay, got a job, paying rent, practicing, maybe we're paying for the studio, maybe it's at the house or whatever, you know, or at a friend's house. And then, okay, we got to go on tour. Well, you know, oh, 2 weeks. Dang, I can't leave my job for 2 weeks.
Mm.
But I got to go on tour because this is what I was built for. You know, I'm the shark, I'm the giraffe. You know, this is what I was built for. So, you know, you leave the job, you come back. Oh man, now I gotta find a gig. Now, just recently, I was working for a company that got sold, so I was out of a job for a few weeks.
Mm.
And we were just luckily, my solo stuff was picking up and I was getting more shows and the band was playing, we were getting shows. So I was able to eke by, you know, just making dough from playing and then uh, get back on. You know, I've got a new job and everything's fine now. But, you know, that's the most recent example. You know what I mean? But for the music, the tours, relationships, when you're with someone and they want you to be around all the time, and I guess if you're in something and you're doing something and you're with someone and something like that, you can love two things, but with most people, they don't get that, you know what I mean? And they don't feel that. And it's not a knock to them, they're stronger than I am in a lot of ways, but this is my strength.
Yeah.
I can love two things. I can love you, I can love music, you know what I mean? So that would always become an issue in the end, you know what I mean? It's fun going to the bars and, hanging out and partying, playing shows, meeting people, making connections, meeting other bands to go on tour, play with, or just go to a barbecue with or something. But, when it comes to like that, romantic, so it takes a certain type of person, you know what I mean, to be with, or it's like if I was in the military or something like that. Yeah. But going out to sea in the Navy or going to, whatever other country in the Army or something, my significant other would be at home doing the home stuff. We're missing each other, but we're doing our thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anyway, to the point, like that's another struggle that, dealt with and stuff like that. But still, through it all, it's got to be music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's, when I was growing up, I had a pretty interesting, childhood. I had a very interesting step parent involved in the situation for a time. And that was the one thing that helped. I was playing drums as a kid in the jazz band at school. My best friend Ben, his mom he plays bass, and his mom bought a bass rig and a drum set. We got home from school one day, and I went to his house after school, and there was this bass rig and drum set in the kitchen.
What?
You guys are gonna play, and you're gonna get good. I was like, oh wow, okay, sweet. So
upgrade from the pots and pans.
Yeah, I graduated. Boom. You know what I mean? So yeah, I didn't even have a hat to throw.
Oh.
Yeah, but I had drums to play. So.
Your graduation kit, not cap.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And don't throw the kit though. So that was another thing, a struggle that music helped me get through. And then even growing up for a while, like having dealt with that stuff and like this unresolved sadness, that turns to hurt and frustration and things like that, and you like lash out in different ways and you do different things to cope with it. Some people turn to whatever, use your imagination.
Any vice.
Yeah. And I've seen a lot of those myself, but in the end, through it all, I'll pick up my guitar, I'll tap on my knee, and that's, I'm at the psychiatrist right now in my bedroom, tapping on my knee or playing my guitar, and I'm good, I'm fine. Thank you, God, for the gift, and that's really what it comes down to. I don't know if I would have been able to do this on my own. Again, just like all of a sudden pick up any instrument I was playing in school. In 6th grade, I would, had a music teacher. She would just give us stuff. I had a bunch of stuff in the classroom in the school, and like we'd stay there and, okay, I want to play the violin. Oh, I want to play the xylophone now. I want to play the snare drum. You'd come like, oh, okay, well, this next recital, you could play this instrument. Everybody's staying on the, certain ones and like jumping around, and I don't know, okay, if it's a gift, right? Oh, that's a talent, that's a gift, that's a specialty, right? But gifts come from somebody. You get a gift, you don't have a gift.
Yeah.
So it's not just me. So there's more to it than just doing it. For me is, passing on the knowledge that, we're having a conversation right now.
Yeah.
Music helps, it soothes. What is it? Music soothes the savage beast, is the saying, as it goes. Well, I'm an animal. So.
Hear me roar.
Yeah, and you play music too, right? You're a musician.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
A little bit. I'm not very well practiced these days because my focus has been on university and teaching, but I'm trying to get back into it.
Yeah.
Time for it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely encourage it.
For art and stuff too.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're like doing art and many different ways, that's even better. Then you don't. I mean, it's great if you have an outlet because not a lot of people have an outlet. But if you have outlets,
Yeah.
that's more than a bonus. But can't think of a word right now for it.
I
Extra
definitely have
bonus.
outlets. Yeah, multiple.
Yeah, and it's a lot more comforting, right? Like, okay, what if you wanted to play your drums or something like that? But oh, okay, well, it's too loud right now. I could play the flute
Yeah.
or play the piano. Or I could draw.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
and
and kind of sometimes like with drawing or painting, it's like it's quiet and I can just like be in the quiet, and then when I'm playing music, it's loud, so it's like kind of different, right?
right, it depends on how you feel at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And so yeah, if you have multiple things you can do, then you can pick and choose one or the other depending on your mood instead of like, oh, this is all I could do. I don't feel like it right now.
Yeah.
You can do
Or
the
maybe
other
you
thing.
get bored of one, you can choose to do something else too, right?
Right.
I
Yeah.
get bored of stuff really easily, so
Yeah. So then, yeah, it's very good to have that skill, right?
yeah.
Asking and such.
So we only have like 5 more minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
We did a great job. um, so I guess I want to say thank you very much for letting me hang out with you.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah. And I really hope that if anybody takes anything away, it is that, not just for music or drawing or whatever, but even if it's not art, if you like to build Lego pirate ships, or if that's soothing to you, or staring at the clouds and making sure they don't fall out of the sky, great. Find something that's awesome because, anything outside of ourselves is not ourselves. And there's us and there's God and there's love. And that's, the us is what exists, the God is what drives us, and the love is what bonds us. So if we can, yeah, that just came out right now, but that's how I feel.
Because you kind of cut out, I want to make sure it's clear.
There's us, there's God, and there's love. And the us is what exists, the God is what drives us, and the love is what bonds us.
Very well said.
So yeah, find something. Sorry?
New song lyric?
Yes. Yep. I'll give you 10%.
Yes.
And free show tickets.
Sweet.
Yeah. We're coming to the BC and jam out somewhere over there sometime.
Awesome. Even if you make it to like north end of the States, I can kind of meet in the middle.
Oh yeah, Vancouver. I mean, there's Vancouver, Washington. We can go. Or
yeah, Seattle.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Oh yeah, I forgot to do that.
Anything much like there's not really any cities from Seattle down to like, isn't the next big one like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say anything so I'll embarrass myself, but
I mean there's like Tacoma, Spokane.
Oh, okay.
Oregon, Portland, Eugene. You can get it on Sacramento.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of cool little places to go though. Just there's not a lot around, but if you play music, you can go out there and show them what you do and connect with them on that level. You'll find some real cool people in places that you weren't aware of.
West Coast is the best coast.
Oh, and we're all there.
Did I just say that?
You did. You said it well.
My peeps.
Next time you better wear a bandana or something.
What color? Don't say it. I'm gonna wear purple because I love purple.
Oh, okay, perfect. That's like the sunset.
Oh.
Boom. One of the layers, right? No.
Yeah.
The color
like
palette
rainbow,
of the sky.
Not a full rainbow, but.
Like a staircase.
Yeah, of colors.
Color stairway to heaven.
Yeah, the color wheel in the sky.
Oh, the color wheel in the sky. Is that a book or something?
I don't know. I just made that up.
Oh, sweet. I like that book.
Maybe I stole it from somewhere. I don't know. It just came.
There's gonna be a book. In like 10 years, it'll be like, remember we were talking about the. Like, oh, it's a bestseller on Amazon.
Whoever writes this book, whoever's listening.
Yeah.
You got a copy from me.
Yeah, you gotta give it 10%. You got 2 businesses now.
You gotta come on my show and I get to interview you.
Boom, yeah. So where did you get this idea though, partner?
All right, so that wraps it up. Thanks again for listening in. You can find Drew's music and his band music on Facebook. His band is theroughsd.com, and same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can find his solo stuff at iamdrewsmith.com, and same thing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. So thanks again for listening in, and have a good night. We'll see you next week.
Bye.